The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality. The last is to say thank you. Max Dupree. Well, Max has got it right. Leaders create. Leaders take the opportunity to find what is the reality. What is happening? What should we go for? What would be the place, the direction that we need to go to? What way are we going? And of course, last to say thank you, because the leaders need to thank the people that came along with them. Well, today's topic is Leaders Creative Update. Now that you may say, well, that's kind of weird. Creators Update. What do you mean by that? Well, it's tied to Windows 10. Windows 10 just had an update, and actually back in April, to what they called the build was Creators Update. Because they ran out of names, I think. But this was a patch. And at times, leaders need to put a patch in. Leaders need to be able to say, hey, things aren't quite right. Things are going good, but they could be better. What's better in your life? What could be better? What do you think you would need to add to your life to put that creator's update in? Maybe it's looking spiritually, maybe it's looking intellectually, maybe it's looking physically. You know, there's this combination, this harmony between the three to say, if my mind is aligned, if my body's aligned, if most importantly, my spiritual side is aligned, if all those three come together in harmony, I'm living pretty good. I'm living into my purpose. I'm living inspired to do something of value for others. What are you doing in your life that you need to look at? If you don't like what is being said, then change the conversation, Don Draper said in Mad Men. So how are you going to change the conversation? If you don't like what is happening in your life, then how are you going to change the conversation? One of the things that we think about when you are walking through the day and doing the things and you say, oh, I didn't like the way that happened, or I didn't like what she said, or I don't like what he said. Some of that may be to change the conversation, but some of it may be reaction, just a reaction to what is being said, because, you know, we see in ourselves, we project it outward. Hi, Lisa, welcome. Glad you can make it on this Creator's Update. What is it that we're saying within ourselves that we're not thinking about ourselves, but we see it in others? And one of the aspects that we have within us is the ability to define reality. Well, we see the reality, we see a perceived reality, but we also don't understand that it's close to us, that we're seeing into ourselves and projecting it outward. So much like we talked about the reticular activating system that's within our mind. So when you go and buy that new car, you're looking at that car, maybe new to you. You see it all around. Everybody's got the same car. Well, it's like also, hey, I really want ice cream. Oh, somebody just said about ice cream. Oh, and then what do you see? You go to the grocery store. First thing you see, ice cream. Or you see the truck coming down the street, ice cream. Our minds get situated to look at that which we're telling it. If we don't like the conversation, if we don't like what another person is doing, it's because there's something that we're talking to ourselves, but we're looking outward instead of inward. So we need a creator's update for that. We need to look inward and say, okay, what is the patch that I need within my life? What's that patch? It's not horrendous. It's just an adjustment, a pivot, a thing that will make us feel great. even better than we were. It will help us get unstuck. It will help us to find a new reality. We have to tell our mind, with the way the mind works, we have to tell the mind, what is it that we want to accomplish? What is it this day that isn't quite working? What is it this day that is important to make a change in our lives? Leadership is the art of giving people a platform for spreading ideas that work. Seth Godin. So Seth is a very smart man, has a lot of great marketing insights, a change in how we do things. You can follow his work. He's got a number of daily insights that he puts out. But look at this. You give a platform for spreading ideas that work. What does that mean? Well, we have to define reality. We have to define what it is, and then we have to go for it. These are all similar. We're creating, and every day we are creating. Every day we need to say, what is it that we are doing, and then update. Update the next day. In the software world, there's always a build being worked on. It's the next iteration. There is this evolution that we need in our software, in our technology. I was talking with a well-known leader yesterday, and she was talking about she was in a special program because she was invited to it. It was a very exclusive program, and everyone in the room were of a younger age. She was the oldest in the room, but she wasn't old, as you might think. You know, she wasn't like ancient, right? But she was the oldest in the room. How many times have you been older, the oldest person in the room, and you look around you and all these young people, these people younger than you, are doing something that's different than you? So she was in this room, and they were all on their phones doing their Instagram, she was saying, and getting in technology and going away and clicking and doing all kinds of things and spreading the word, and she stopped. Everybody went off to their event, and she stopped and talked with the organizer. She built a relationship with the organizer, and the organizer said, "Hey, there's something I can give you. Thanks for stopping and creating a relationship with me." They all got it in the end, but they developed a relationship, and they're going to go further with that relationship. So meanwhile, all the other people in the room won't have as good of a relationship because they were technology focused. Hi, Jim. Welcome. We're talking about creator update. So what is the patch that we need to apply to ourselves and how we operate? We may need technology, and technology is changing at lightning speed. I was just reading an article last night about Gen Z. So those people that are now just in college and entering the workforce, they're going to have a whole different philosophy on working in the workplace. We're so worried, you may see articles, millions of articles, thousands of articles at least, that are talking about how to connect with the millennials. Well, guess what? Generation Z is connecting in a different way. And you may think, well, Generation Z is just an extension of millennials and, it's all captured in the same, but no, they're different. Generation Z knows nothing but technology, and they know that they need to collaborate. They need to be able to make change happen because they see change. They see change in a different way. We all see change. We all see how to connect, but we're always afraid that somebody else coming after us or coming into our room, coming into what we are looking at, our reality is different than something else, different than what we're used to. And what happens? We disconnect. And this Generation Z will be looking at collaborating, but collaborating with the expectation that technology is integral. So it's a whole different change. It's not entitlement. They're a force that wants to take and be a part of something and collaborate to achieve it, but they're going to use technology. And we're going to see the understanding of a digital and student experience, digital technology, the digital world, and student experience. If you bring those together, will be collaboration in a different way. And any company that's going to harness that. And if, as we mentioned, as we talked about in previous segments, those that move now to anticipate the needs of tomorrow will have a greater impact, will be a better suited, focused world for people, for clients, for whatever that solution or service product that company will offer. So today's great companies may not be great. There will be a different group tomorrow because they will learn the lessons and say, hey, we got a group of collaborators coming forward. How can we change our environment? How can we change the way we do things? How can we apply Creator Update to what we have to harness the creativity of these people coming forward, of the work that we could do if we just let them lead the way? We're going to guide them, we're going to mentor them, but we need to empower them, we need to engage them, because if we don't, we're going to lose and we're going to have suffering sales, we're going to have suffering revenue, we're going to be put out of existence. It's moving at light speed. So get the Creator Update, put it on, and make sure that it's happening in your life each day. Live in harmony in your spirit, in your intellect, in your mind, and in your body. This day and every day, because living in harmony can create that ability to define the reality and remember to say thank you at the end. That's all for today. Take care. I look forward to tomorrow, where we continue focusing on harmony, on creating update, and several more great ideas. Take care now. Have a great day. Bye-bye.